Franchise Mode Season 2. And as you can see, Jack Eichel has retired. That's a bit of a big piece of news because one of our own creative players, Trevor Michaels, is still on the Sabres. That's not good. Goalies. Connor Hellebuck retiring, Matt Murray as well, along with Gibson. Yeah, I know, man, already. Jack Eichel. Alex Nedeljkovic, former Hurricane, draft pick, retiring. I don't believe he spent too long with the Canes. Oh, he did actually. You know, he spent 2 full seasons with the Canes and didn't really do all that well. Had some success in Edmonton as well as in Florida, but I don't believe he won the Stanley Cup. Maybe he won it with the Oilers. I can't remember if the Oilers won. Either way, Ned has retired. And any other former Canes on here? Briefly a Cane, Vincent Trocheck. Evgeny Svechnikov, not a former Hurricane. I don't see Josh Bean. Also, speaking of Jake Bean, the fans voted him the Canes Defenseman of the Year, at least for prospects, in my prospect awards. He was the losing goalie in the finals for Edmonton versus me. Oh, that's right. That is right. I forgot about that. But yeah, so Jake Bean voted the prospect of the year. Or defensive prospect of the year. Morgan Geekie won forward and prospect of the year. And so it was Minnesota versus New York final with Minnesota winning, huh? The most improved went to Lorentz and Fensori. And it seems like Canes fans are most excited to see Geeky. There was like a handful of players that received all around like the same amount of votes. But JT Shepard winning the Art Ross this year. Number Sports Fan winning another Norris. Kyler Yamamoto is just cleaning house with the Lady Bing, man. So sportsmanlike. Cameron Bass winning the Vesna. Carter Metz winning the William M. Jennings. Intern Maddie winning the Selkie. And Trevor, you won the Rocket Richard. Look at that. So despite Buffalo not making the playoffs, you won the Rocket Richard. So we are going to the draft, and I have no idea what to expect in this draft. So I'm going to view this draft class here. And yeah, I accidentally clicked through it, and so we have a medium top 6 center. Oh, that's right, Mr. Nedved. That's a player that I was thinking about. But pick 26 has come, and instantly don't love what I see. Drake Pratt, Owen Nolan comparisons. The AHL top 6 forward concerns me a bit. I think I'm gonna pick this Drake Pratt player. Our scouts seem to like him. That was a really terrible pick. Well then, he was projected to go like 48th, huh? I'm gonna trade for this pick. I'm gonna trade 40th overall. That's plenty of room. I'm gonna trade 57th overall. And this guy to get it done. And I'll just get like a really terrible prospect. Easy. I wanted that pick, and I think it's important. So if you take a look at the second note in the message center down there, you'll see Laine is now a part of the Senators. They acquired him in a trade earlier today. And one of my biggest pet peeves about the NHL games is that they use a part as opposed to a part. They're different, they have different meanings. And it's really irritating me. Ooh, I didn't see Spike Webster here. Power forward with a Milan Lucic comparison. Oldrich Nedved, a center. He's a playmaker. Definitely gonna pick him up. And I might honestly try trading for this second round pick too. Might try making it happen, you know? I just picked... it wasn't this guy that I picked. Nor was it this guy. Where is he? It was Drake Pratt. He has no trade value, my gosh. I'll trade the 92nd overall pick. Okay, instead of 92nd overall, I'll give you the pick 4 picks higher. A little bit more value. Okay, well, instead of that, let's try just 2 picks later with Pittsburgh. Let's see if they would rather make a trade. Doesn't appear so, huh? That's fine. I'm okay with missing out on the power forward, I think. Yeah, I'm okay with that. So we'll send to 88th overall. There still should be some talent available in this draft. I like the low top 4D here. A goalie. Okay. And Yuri Bykov. So I think I'm going to pick the low top 4D while he's here. So that's a good pick for my team to make. Let's see what I missed out on. Medium top 6D, low top 6 forward, medium top 9 forward. So really nothing great. I could pick a goalie, or I could go with either of these 2 players. My scouts like this guy better, in Yuri Bykov. Gaspard Wah. My team is kind of indifferent on. This guy's skating is an E though. He sucks. That's the problem. This guy's younger. I'm gonna take a flyer. Medium top 9 forward. Okay. I want to see what this Bykov player is. If he is any good. Oh, the goalie was a medium elite goalie. That kind of sucks. Bykov is just a low top 6 forward. Okay. I made the better pick, I think. Because if the guy's skating is an E, he's never going to improve. Now I'm just drafting based on potential. Let's see. Low elite defenseman late in the draft. Definitely gonna pick up this guy. Medium top 4D, Ivan Nabokov. He kinda sucks, and he's a defensive defenseman, but getting a medium top 4D is huge. That's a lot of really good potential, I think. my scouts really like this guy, I think I'm gonna do it just for the hell of it. Medium bottom 6 forward, that's bad. Alright, 181st overall. I'll still have a pick before that guy. Doesn't really look like there's anything great available. I could pick up a goalie, but don't really need one. I have young goalies, and the franchise mode is close to being over. So I'm going to pick this defenseman. Get the guaranteed low elite defenseman. 64 overall at age 19 is really good too. So I like that. And then finally I also see this. He's potentially a low elite player. Age 18, Colin Delzato. Everything about him is not very good. So hopefully he is the low elite. Low elite. 50 overall is not very good. I hope he can get into the low to mid 60s. And yeah, so that is it. Overall, an okay draft. I hate my first round pick. I really should have gone with Nedved. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with everything. I was just more confident because I had still seen like top players get picked. So this guy, he wants to be a head coach. I can't see what the fit is. He wants to be a head coach. I may come back to him. I don't love the positions that I had on the roster, and that's too much to pay for a head coach or for an associate coach. So, I will definitely re-sign this person. Yeah, after some two disappointing seasons, I think it's time for a change in the culture of this team. I think I can do better than that in the queue, so. Okay. So let's see what we got going on. Sebastian Aho is a free agent, exact elite potential, still 90 overall at age 35. That is perfect. That's where I want him to be. He wants one more year. Perfect. Is he close to Hall of Fame caliber? He's definitely he's close to a Hall of Famer in my book. Nabokov doesn't want to re-sign, but I'm going to make him re-sign because I really like this player. Michael Goodrow wants a contract extension. He's a perfect fit for this team. Evan Stansel, same deal. Great fit for my team. Edmonds, he doesn't score at all. He's a pure playmaker. But he's not going to grow anymore. One year, like 2.5. If he says no to that, I just won't sign him. Hull wants to sign. I'm definitely going to qualify him. And Tila, I was hoping he would be better. Davidson. I'll qualify this guy. Gonna let go of that Nash player, and I'll sign Kaibu. Jody Grantham doesn't want a contract. I'm fine with that. Hillis, I'm gonna try to keep around. See if that works. Sparks. Larson's a player I'm cool with losing. Same with Davies. I'll sign that Campbell player as well as this Thorne player. Salvador Thorne, a 4th round pick. Defense. Tuomas Solani does not want a contract. Solid defensive. He's really my only true, like, defensive player. 4-star defense. I'm gonna want to keep him around. He wants 5 years. Can I just get him for 3? 2 even? Solani was a really good pick, and I really want him to work out. I mean, he spent his entire career with the Canes. What overall pick was he? 8th overall in 2021. He's played 800 games with this team, just hit 200 points this past year. That's a really good pick. I want him around. Ty Smith wants another contract. I'm going to say no to that. Laaksonen, I'm going to qualify. So I really want him around. Richards, I'll qualify. A low elite defenseman at age 20, that's perfect. Low top 4D, I'm also going to sign you. Goaltenders. Jilson does not want a contract extension. Of course he doesn't, huh? He gets all the money. 85 overall. Gotta keep him around. That's Jilson. And I have a really good pipeline for goalies. Now, unsigned. I haven't drafted a goalie in the past few years, so maybe it's time to. Other than that, doesn't look like I have many great prospects coming into the system, unfortunately. This guy I'll definitely sign, just not this season. Yeah, so that's the plan. Let's see who all says yes and no. So this will just be my scouts accepting. Aho renewed. Edmonds and Solani renewed, as did Evan. Hillis rejected, I'm okay with that. Jilson renewed, Michael Goodrow renewed. Nikolai Nabokov wants a bigger contract. How good has he been for this team? Last season, he's been with us for 2 years and he's had 50-point seasons. That's worth keeping around, I'd say. If he only wants a year, that's fine. I'll just overpay the shit out of him. Salary cap is off so everybody can make their money. Now, Bruka, Nikolai Nabokov accepted, easy. And just here's the rest of my scouts. I may even have like 1 or 2 qualifying offers accepted. Doesn't appear so. Okay. I'm at 35 contracts, including my qualifying offers right now, and I need to hire a new coach. NHL head coach. There's a couple available. Not looking to spend too much. There is this Blanchard guy who was my head coach. He's not a good team fit though, so I'm actually glad that I said no to him. Courtnall, Alexander Boudreau, 55% team fit. He is best fit with Svetch, Big Sam, Optimistic Caniac, which I like to see. I'll circle back to that. Rich Robbins, I like that. That's a funny name. Sean Darby, no. Michael Lachance, also that's a no. Trenton McLeod, no. Okay, so that's all the head coaches. Was it this guy? Zanetti. I think he's the best fit for my team. I can get him on the cheap, but I want to make sure that, that works out. I also need an associate coach, and we're going to go with the best available with the best teaching. 46% team fit. Nick Madsen actually was a coach on my team at one point. That guy's a 42%. I'm just curious, 47%. This guy is easily the best coach for the job. My AHL, I need an assistant coach and a goalie coach, like I always do. I don't even know why I'm that surprised. So let's get this guy as my AHL assistant coach, and the guy below him has decent teaching as well. Let's get you as my AHL goalie coach. I'm happy with that. Scouting, let's see what I can do. QMJHL, I can do it's a slight upgrade, but it's an upgrade nonetheless. It's between these top two guys. I'm gonna go with this guy. I like that this person has an A-, but they also have a C. And I don't love the C in efficiency. The Labrie guy I had is actually really good at he's really efficient. He's got a B in that. But he's got a C in Discovery, so this is a small upgrade in Discovery, a little downgrade in efficiency. But it's an upgrade in almost every scouting category. So we'll sign that scout. Now I need to see what my team needs because we've lost a little bit of talent this off season. Perfect. I don't need to change a thing at center. I need a third, maybe a fourth line left winger. I need a third and fourth line right winger. Yeah. I need a defenseman. So left winger, I need 4 left wing. We'll just say we'll say 3 left wing. It's 3/4 left wing. 3 + 4 right wing. Perfect, thank you. And I'm good on goalies. And as always, I might just sign a couple players to fill in Charlotte. Alright. I just need a defenseman. So, Dominic Box available. How has he done since being away from the Canes? I'm curious. 61 points, 79, 90, 82, 71, 76. I'm pretty sure he has a Stanley Cup as well. That's successful. Please make that not be the best defenseman available. He's the best defenseman available. Okay, well, we got rid of Ty Smith, and Ty Smith was an 81. This is a small upgrade to 82 overall. Would he be a fit? Fits in top 4 defensive pairings. He's probably not a top 4 D-man on my team. My god, you want too much term. Okay. Let's chill on the term, but I will give him more money than he wants. Okay. I need 3/4. Hämäläinen was a long time Kane, actually. So I will bring him back. He wasn't a long time Kane, but he was a Canes prospect at one point. So we'll do that. I'll bring him back. I needed a third line right winger for sure. I'm thinking Jim Franson. And no, he doesn't really fit the scheme all that well, but he's really good. Yeah, we'll do it. No other teams really want him. No, we'll give him 2 years. That's fine. And then I need like a lower tier right winger. Like a not very good one. Andre Burakovsky. Cairns, perfect. That's what I'm looking for. Like a guy who's just like 26-ish. 81 overall. So I got my defenseman, I got my right winger, or left winger, and I got my right winger. Okay. So now let's just briefly check what I can get in Charlotte. Definitely going to pick up this Solis player. Former third round pick, low top 6, not the best potential. 70 overall is excellent. That's a great signing for Charlotte, in my opinion. Anybody? There's a free agent that's 19 and 49 overall. That's pretty bad, I'd say. Doesn't appear to be anything too great outside of that. So with that, I think we're done with free agency. Let's see what I can get. Alright, so my assistant coach has accepted for the AHL and the goalie coach. That's huge. My scouting staff improved. Kirby Dach heading to Boston. Wow, that's a big trade. I have my new head coach. And I have an associate coach. All of my coaching staff things worked right away. Dawson Kearns. Cool. I got the prospects that I wanted. Got my defenseman, I got another right winger, I got my left winger. Pretty sure that was all I needed. Free agency, that was like the quickest I've been done with free agency, man. I went in there, knew exactly what I wanted. All my prospects are going to be signing. Kenny Hall, offer sheet, I'm going to match that offer. I had another prospect accept, going to decline. Chris Miracle traded to San Jose from Washington. Chris was a former a long-time Hurricane, actually. Long-time Hurricane Chris Miracle traded from Washington to San Jose. Philip Zadina heading to Toronto. Hey, Trevor, maybe now that it's like a little later in the franchise mode, maybe you'll finally get traded from Buffalo. You know what? Let's just take a look while I'm thinking about it. Your trade value has not dropped. So I can't make that trade. You have 2 years left on your contract. We'll see what happens at the end of it. By the end of those 2 years, Svechnikov might be retired. I'm not entirely sure how that works. He probably won't have retired, actually. So you're still going to probably be out of luck. But maybe you'll just go to free agency at 33 and say, you know what, like, I'm finally tired of these Sabres, man. Maybe you know what, maybe they made some improvements. Maybe they've actually drafted well. Hopefully, you know, it'll work out. But either way, ooh. Okay, first of all, gotta make some changes here. Hell nah, absolutely not. Okay. He motherfucker scratched Sebastian Aho. I'm so sorry for the language. I'm not actually. What was my man thinking doing that? You're scratching an 89 overall player. Top 6 forward, so he's actually going to regress. Probably means Sebastian Aho's going to retire this year, but luckily I'm okay with that. Iserman, Goodrow, still fine. Defensively, we're a little sus once again. I'm okay with that. He's not a good prospect. Okay, special teams, how we looking? The fact that Sebastian Aho isn't on the freaking power play, it just blows my freaking mind, man. Alright, so we're running an all-forward second pair. Second power play. Alright, so we'll do that. We're good. Starting lineup, that's what I like. Third line's a little sus, but it's okay. Just changing this. Do anything? Not really. Franzen. That's gonna make it a lot worse. Okay. Tired of not winning. I know, man. I feel bad. I really do. Like, I'm really hoping your tenure with Buffalo ends pretty soon. So, looks like I need to start drafting more centers, because I have none. Yeah, Charlotte's going to be a little sus this year. Defensively, we are something alright. I'm going to change some stuff around. Ooh, that's going to happen. Yeah. And that's really all I need to do then, huh? Alright, so Charlotte's defense just improved by me doing that. This guy's a really good fit, and this guy's a decent fit. Goaltending in Charlotte as expected. I don't need to make any changes. Cool. Alright, we are going to... It is a little late tonight, so I am gonna start, I'm just gonna go ahead and send to February 1st and see what happens. And no created players in that one. Just taking a look at Twitter today just to see what's going on. Really no hockey news today. I'm still kind of waiting on the Canes to sign some prospects. It's getting a little late in the I don't know what they're gonna do, man. I think Matt Philippe would be a really good addition to the team down the road. Not sure about right now, but he would definitely be somebody I'd take a look at. And then I think Luke Henman might be a good player to sign as well, but I'm not sure again. So I've heard it's all been kind of quiet from the Canes front office, though. I think they're just trying to get through, this and see what's going on before they make any like real moves. Because I think the whole league is like the league as a whole is just trying to make decisions like on a day-to-day basis. Once we get clarity on the AHL season, things might start moving again. Alright, so 2 losses to start the season. Not great. The team only has 3 goals. I thought this team was going to be pretty good. There's a win against Vegas, so maybe that's what we needed to kind of get ourselves going. We know Keegan Cowan, projected to go first overall right now. He's a medium elite. We have him projected to go second, though, so might be something to keep an eye on. No gems yet, which is not all that surprising. It typically takes a couple months for that to really work. Back to 500 with some big West Coast wins. Starting off the season with a 5-game homestand when we go 2-3. That's not the greatest way to start. But man, we also don't have a lot of games this month. Only 8 games in the month of October. So I'd love to get 2 wins here to close out the month and end on a very positive note. But we'll see what happens. Playing against the Preds, they're kind of struggling. We beat the Preds, so we have 3 of our 4 wins against Western Conference teams, but looks like we lose to Buffalo. So 4-4-0 to end the month of October. Not the best way to start off your year, neither is that with a loss to Montreal, but hopefully this is just a slow start and the Canes can kind of get it going. Oof, maybe it's more than just a slow start. Maybe we're just not good. I don't know. We're winning games again. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna have to shut up and let it play out. If by February 1st we're like still in the playoff hunt but just out, I might consider making a trade and improving on defense. Might consider like moving away from Sam Girard and getting like a better defenseman. But we are above 500 right now, which is great to see. I didn't see if we were in a playoff spot. We are not, but we're 1 point out. It's a big, 2 big wins against Metro teams too. And the Bruins are just tearing it up this season, 15-4-0, but we win in the shootout. So it's the Blue Jackets are kind of running away with the division, but then after that, it's actually pretty close. Winnipeg fires their head coach. And I guess part of this slow start is also kind of like, the coaching staff. It's a new staff, so, the Canes have to get used to that. But we'll see what's going on. Got a game against Montreal, hopefully a revenge game against Les Habitants, and we lose both games. That's unfortunate. December 1st, I've already signed my RFAs, and I'm all good on that end. 13-10-0, it's definitely a better record, but not great. We're 1 point in, we're tied for 3rd in the division. Tuomas Solani out with a wrist sprain. Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm gonna do that. See what happens. I'm not sure. That's an interesting looking defense, but we got 2 wins out of it. So I can't complain too much, New Central Scouting rankings, same as the old Central Scouting rankings, pretty much. Any gems or busts? We have not identified any gems or busts. But still a playoff team, which I like to see. Gotta beat Montreal. Can't lose the season series, and we don't. We beat Montreal once, which is good. Edmonton now. I think it's 3 Canadian teams in a row. We do lose to Edmonton. I think we've struggled against Edmonton, at least in the regular season during this sim. Shootout loss to San Jose, not ideal, but we do win the next game, so we get 4 points out of that little split. Ending the road trip 1-1-1. So, not great. But we are 2nd in the division, barely. Huge weekend series, though. Tuomas Solani is back. I'm just going to hit best lines and make sure it doesn't free screw anything up. It did. Barely, but it did. It's really bad for my defense. Okay, so this coach doesn't love any of my defensemen. That's fine. But 2 big wins, huge weekend series against the Flames and the Predators, getting 2 wins. Solani out again. I don't love that. Yeah, I really don't love that. That's best for my defense, so we're going to keep it that way. And Solani's out until the 14th of January, so we do lose one of my best defensemen. We get a shutout win, though, against the Caps, and another 4-2 win. Seems like the Canes are starting to churn out some victories here more often. Caps are going to be looking for revenge, though, heading to Raleigh, but we win 6-1. Caps want to trade us a player. If it's not a defenseman, I don't really want to talk, unfortunately, for a lot of teams. Last game of the new year is an 8-2 win. Or last game of 2033 was an 8-3 win. 2034 starts us off with a loss. We never do well in those New Year's games. And nope. Shootout win against the Kings. I like to see that. We've now taken first place in the division with that win. And it's going to continue. The momentum's going to carry over to Dallas for this little 4-game road swing. We do lose against Vancouver, but big games against Calgary and Toronto coming up. Shootout loss, unfortunate. Evan Stancil out with a sore shoulder. That's not good. He's out until the 23rd. Ooh, Hall makes it a lot worse. So I'll just put Edmonds there just to kind of be a stop. Just to stop the bleeding. Tuomas Solani is back, so that helps my defense, actually. That doesn't change anything. Okay. I'll get Edmonds in the lineup. No, okay, that was a bit of a rough road trip. Only getting 3 points out of 4 games. That's not what you want to see. But we do beat the Sens. We're no longer first in the division, unsurprisingly. But big win against the Islanders. That's a team you need to beat. Any Metropolitan Division game is one that you're going to need to win. Beat Chicago. Evan Stancil's back, so he wasn't out for too long. Thankfully, I think the team really needs him in the lineup. And yeah, I think that's all I can really do. Other than that, Central Scouting Rankings for January coming out now. Larson has taken over as the first overall pick, the projected first overall pick. Our scouts haven't really gotten a look at him yet, apparently. 2 gems, though, in this draft. One's a goalie, one's a defenseman. You love to see it. I'm gonna go ahead and start scouting these guys now. That way they can be... That way I can fully know what to expect from these players in the draft. Both of these guys I'll be picking around that area, so I want to know. 6-1 win against Columbus. Columbus is still ahead of us, but that's a big win for us. Heading into the All-Star break on a win as well with that win against the Sharks. So 30-16-2. Doesn't look like that slow start has really come back to bite us. We've won the majority of our games since then. 1 point out of first with a game in hand. 6-3 win heading into February puts us at first in the division now. Lots of Metropolitan Division games coming up, and let's take a look. Big Sam leading the way with 60 points. Hey, what's up, Panda? So there we go. Optimistic Haniac having a hell of a season. Sebastian Aho, man, he's stage 36. But he is still kicking it. 56 points. I'm kind of hoping he stays around for another year. I'm not going to lie. I wish Svetch's point totals were higher, but I'm okay with it. Buffalo. Trevor, you only have 33 points this season. It seems as if you've kind of lost some power play time to this Ernesto McKenzie guy. But you only need 7 more points, so once you hit 40 points, you will actually have 1,000 NHL points, which is a really cool milestone. Panda, you were on Dallas. You haven't missed anything. We just went through free agency. You have 61 points so far this season, so you're killing it. I fired my coach in the off season and hired a new coach. I don't want to simulate up to this day. Oh yeah, I was gonna take a look and see if any teams were trading defensemen that would be better for me. That's a goaltender. I don't need goaltending. I think I'm fine with goalies. I'm taking the Eric Tulsky approach to things where I'm not going to spend a lot of assets on goalies. I'd rather focus on the other aspects of my team. Don't need any of that. I would love all those players, but I don't need them. Hanula, that's a really terrible contract for a guy who'd be on my third pair. Again, just he doesn't fit in any pairings. Miro Heiskanen, all defensive pairings, all penalty killing lines. Two-way defender. 34. Last year of his contract. Yeah, we're trading for this guy. That's a massive upgrade. Let's see. Can I convince them to take a prospect? McLeod is a player that I'm not going to... I'm probably not going to sign him. He's 21 years old, 62 overall. It doesn't bode well. Yeah, the medium top six forward kind of sucks to lose, but I just can't see myself really holding on to him. If we go for it, I'm okay with giving up my first round pick in this year's draft. What do you all think? Do I make this trade, or instead of the first round pick, do I look for another asset to trade? Like, let's see. They don't have him on the a list of players that they'd want. But I could trade Gerard. Save the pick. And I'm gonna sign. I might not sign this guy. 61 overall, 19. Let's see if they say yes to this. Just aren't all that interested. So I need to add one more thing that they're actually interested in. I don't want to trade any of those goalies. I can trade a second round pick and be okay with it. And then like a fifth in next year's draft. Let's see if that works. Alright, where you need to be in value offered. Okay, so let's try a third in next year's draft. Too far off. So it seems like in order to make this work, I would need to give up that first round pick. The problem is that, like, I'm a playoff team, and if I finish close to first in the division, my pick is going to be at the end of the first round. That's going to be a medium top 9 forward. That's going to be a terrible pick. I could dip into the second round and get, like, you know, somebody that's a little better, possibly. So, like, I could just focus all my energy on scouting in, like, the middle second round. But, like... Or I could just do nothing at the deadline. Who else is available? I guess I could look and see who else is available first before I do anything else. He seems to be the best defenseman available. Let's go to Detroit now. Victor Soderstrom is... This is not Victor Soderstrom. Oh crap, it is Victor Soderstrom. This would be a hell of a pickup. I would love this move if the Canes could get him. For you know what's and giggles, let's see what Detroit has on their block. Or what Detroit would like. Nedved. Again, I could trade McLeod. That's a good start, but I'd have to give up so much now. Trading block. Let's edit mine. Let's try top 6 defensemen. Let's put that. Let's change that. Instead of Silverthorne, let's put McLeod on the block. Let's do that and see if we get any offers. March 1st is the trade deadline. Minor deal. Hopefully we can beat New Jersey. We did. Okay. Getting a trade offer for Damon Hunt, who's a 79 overall. He's not even gonna make the freaking team, bro. I might need to move him to top 4. I might need to do that. I'm gonna change that to top 4D. On the block. I hate doing that, but... Alright, so I'm gonna have to change that stipulation. You guys remember when you had to have, like, phones to make trade deadline deals? Good times, man. Noah Juleson? 72 overall. Never mind. Buchensky, that's a fun name, heading to Ottawa. Yeah, I mean, like if we're just like a playoff team and nothing more, I'm okay with just staying where I'm at. Defense is going to need to be more of a priority during the off season, I think. My defense isn't great. I have a great first pair and then just kind of a meh second and third pair. And we've lost 4 straight. Korolev, the goaltender, heading to Montreal. A first round pick for Jake Bean. That's kind of funny. Oh shoot, that was a trade for Heiskanen. I shoulda looked. Crap. Well, hopefully Heiskanen doesn't get traded and they come back at us with another offer. Robidas traded to Montreal. Man, Montreal is loading up. Which is not good for us. Salo and McIsaac heading to Winnipeg. The Rangers get an NHL player in return, but really nothing crazy. A goaltender heading to Buffalo. Edmonton gets Jake Bean and Alexander Barkov. That's funny. Buffalo ends up getting the better player, though. They end up getting a goalie, and that may have been a position of need for them. Moritz Seider, that's an interesting trade. Again, a first and a second round pick for a guy that's only 83 overall. That's a no. Okay. Noah Dobson. That would have been a player that I would have loved. But alas. Okay. The team has struggled mightily in the month of February. I don't love that. Buffalo flips the goalie to New Jersey and doesn't get that much for it. They get a defenseman who's not that great and a second round pick. That's weird. Yeah, you gotta get some wins coming up here. Yeah, trade deadline is almost upon us. The Rangers get better? Maybe worse? I don't know. So the Canes are currently in third place, tied with the next lowest team. Heiskanen trade was 2 firsts for him and a 4th. I wouldn't have done that trade. Okay. I think we're still a playoff team. I think we just had a rough month. Last game of the season's against Buffalo, and Buffalo has been selling, so I think we'll be okay. Big win against the Islanders. Michael Goodrow's out with a sprained ankle. That hurts. I'm going to have to do best lines and then switch this up. And then switch that up. That's what I want to do. But there's some wins. Okay, I like that. Optimistic Caniac is now out with a sprained ankle. Oop. Don't love that. That actually makes it worse. Makes it worse too. So I'll put Nabokov there. I'll do that. Okay, so some injuries have unfortunately plagued this team. New Jersey fires their coach. Michael Goodrow is back, which is to say the least, that's a boost for this team. One we desperately needed. You were not traded. It would have showed up under the major trades. I don't think teams could afford you. I've been trying to help Trevor out and get him a trade, and I just haven't been able to afford him. You're less of an overall, but around the same value. So we know this is a medium elite goalie, that's fine. We still don't know if this guy is more than a low elite. If he's a medium top 4D, that's huge. Optimistic Caniac is back. The Canes did well in his absence. Yeah. Okay, we're stringing together some wins. That's a 5-game win streak now. Let's make it 6. We're in the playoffs. We are a playoff team. We have officially clinched with that win against Tampa. There we go. Back to the playoffs. If you were on the block, you might have only had a year left on your contract, so you might be heading to free agency. 11-1, my goodness, that was a big win. I'm glad I didn't make any moves at the deadline. It doesn't look like we needed to. If we win and Columbus loses, we clinch first in the division. But maybe I want to lose, because every time last 2 seasons we've been first in the division and we've lost early, so. Either way, Big Sam and Andrei Svechnikov scoring, Franzen and Gerard scoring goals. Hamalainen gets a goal. Canes shut out the Sabres and have won first in the division. Columbus lost their game. Big Sam finishing with 101 points at age 32. Huge season for him. It's Canes versus Maple Leafs. Buffalo did not make the playoffs. End of the season, can you see your contract? Sure. Yeah, as soon as we get to the draft, just remind me. Oh, 87 points at age 36. Crazy. Optimistic Caniac, despite missing 4 games, finished with 86 points. Andrei Svechnikov had a hell of a second half. Mike Yzerman as well, having a great season. Tommy Watson, 57 points. Evan Stancil, 52. Great season from the Canes. This guy had 2 goals but 44 assists. That's funny. Michael Goodrow, 37 points. I don't believe I had any other creative players. I did not. Any rookies this season? Not really. Holmberg doesn't really count as a rookie goalie. Goaltending, defense was an issue this season, so I don't think it's all on the goalies. Like, I don't think it's just their fault. For Buffalo, let's see. Trevor, how many points did you finish with? You led the team with 71 points, so a bit of a down year for you. You actually missed some time as well. But over 1,000 points now in your career with 500 plus NHL goals and assists. Good stuff. And your player, Colorado Avalanche, that's Columbus. Oh dang, Corey with 110 points, 86 of those points were assists. 82 points, obviously a point per game player, 54 goals. No career highs in anything, but still a solid season. You also hit 1,000 points this season, but whether you hit 500 NHL assists remains to be seen. If you just score 12 goals next season, you'll hit 600 goals, though, which is pretty cool. Cool stuff. Game 1 of the playoffs. Canes versus Maple Leafs. First period. Canes get a goal first. It is Nabokov. I think it's Nikolai Nabokov scoring the first goal of the playoffs on Josh Granton, the Toronto goalie and created player. Second period, it is a tie game. Zadina and Eklund score. Optimistic Kaniak gets the Canes even with the power play goal. Third period, Canes win. That's what I like to see. Sebastian Aho netting the game winner and Evan Stancil scoring as well. Different players scored every goal. I like to see that. Nikolai Nabokov with 3 points in that game too. While I'm here, I'm going to check and see how Charlotte did. They are a playoff team. I love to see it. Despite how terrible that forward core is, man. They were so bad. First period, lots of goals. Evan Stancil, Tommy Watson, and Yzerman scoring. Lots of goals for the Maple Leafs as well. My goodness. Hull with 2 goals. Big Sam and Tommy Watson with his second as well. So 2 players on hat trick watch. And who was that scoring from center ice? Hull scoring from center ice. Third period, Eklund scores. So a bit of a barn burner here, but Canes win 7-4. You did miss your first game. Wow. That is crazy. You had missed 1 game before then. First period, again, lots of offense. Hämäläinen scoring his first 2 goals of the playoffs. Second period, Canes still making it close. Optimistic Kaniak and Andrei Svechnikov scoring goals. Third period, Canes lose. Optimistic Kaniak does score to tie it, but Mitch Marner scores with 24 seconds left. Toronto gets their first win of the series. It is 2-1 Canes. Despite all this offense, Sebastian Aho has 5 points to lead the team. You'd think that there would be a little more of a difference, but it's actually been pretty balanced in terms of scoring this year. First period, Canes with 4 goals. Optimistic Kaniak, Franzen, Nabokov, and Hämäläinen scoring. We have chased Josh Granton. We have 4 goals on 9 shots. Goal number 5 comes from Big Sam, and third period, we almost lose this game. My goodness. 4 goals from Toronto. That's not what you want to see. And despite all that, Sebastian Aho may not have gotten a point in that game. And a 5-4 win. Crazy. But heading to game 5, this is in Raleigh. Canes could win the first round. First period, Optimistic Kaniak and Evan Stancil scoring. Julien Gauthier getting that revenge goal against the Canes. Second period, Goodrow and Nabokov scoring. And third period, we're going to overtime. Jamie Drysdale, revenge goal against his former team as well. Canes and Maple Leafs head into overtime in game 5. Connor McDavid there. I don't love playing the like the EA or the World of Shell, I think it's called. It gets kind of repetitive. Feel free to roast me if like I'm wrong and it's actually kind of fun, but I found it to be kind of repetitive. But either way, this is Big Sam against Nick Robertson on the faceoff. Big Sam wins it back to Yzerman. Michael Gaudreau to Big Sam. Sam coming up with the puck. Big Sam, the Caniac Man on Twitter. Gonna throw in some shameless plugs there. Svechnikov, Yzerman to Svechnikov, shoot, broken stick, and Dahlin clears it out. Eklund with the puck. Ooh, nice little move to get it past. But Svechnikov had it and got hit off the play. Oh, that's a nice move to get past Svechnikov. Liljegren back to Dahlin to Zadina, gets tripped, and the Canes are gonna go on the penalty kill in just a second. Ekman Saya shoots it wide, and Big Sam ends up getting it. Threes is okay, yeah. People on Twitter were doing like the cut for EA SHL, and the biggest issue I have with that is just like you see so many people with like the really racist names, and I just don't want, like, the hockey community can be really great, but like there's a lot of people who can get away with like blatant racism, and as we've seen with certain players and people in the hockey community, it's like you're really only going to get a slap on the wrist for that. And the NHL game, like, EA doesn't do enough to actually moderate that. That's my biggest problem. It's still early, I don't care, but Trey Cash and Optimistic Caniac, both creative players. I did see them up in the top 3 for goals. And while I'm happy that the Capitals did the right thing, if I wasn't like all but convinced that Leipzig was not going to be on the Caps next season, I don't think the Capitals would have done anything. The Capitals may have suspended him for a few games and that would have been it. But if he was more than that, or if he had another year or 2 left on his contract, if he was like a third line player, he would have just been suspended 5 games and taken one of those NHL like behavior courses. That definitely work. Minute left on this penalty kill. Canes have been playing pretty well on the penalty kill. Oh my god, how did they not score? Hit the post, and what a play by Tuomas Solani to clear up the zone and break up that pass. Heck of a play there by Tuomas Solani. Josh Grantham having a little trouble breaking it out of the zone. I'm not going to complain about that. Ices off another couple of seconds. Toronto dumps it in, but they can't get to it. Mitch Marner with the puck. Big Sam had it. Marner got it again. To Jesper Boquist. Shoots. Joseph was ready for that, and Marner just runs right into him. Bit of a dirty play there, huh? So Kane's doing a good job on the kill. Just 26 more seconds left. And ties up Philip Zadina. Ooh, great save by Jilson. And once again, the Canes getting a timely save. I guess that was less than a second, huh? Oh no, it was 4 seconds. Okay, it didn't change. Big Sam loses another face-off though. Misses the net, barely. Yzerman's gonna get the clear and just ice off more time. I don't... nice offsides there. I think that it's just happened to be the Caps. I mean, Leipzig has been on 5 teams in 5 years, and there's probably reasons for that. People have probably realized he's a terrible person. But, I think... Oh, they scored. Unfortunately, I don't think that it's exclusive to the Caps, and I'm thankful that none of that has happened with any players that I care about. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, worried that it'll happen. It seems like for the most part the Canes have done a really good job though of bringing players in that are good people as well as like good hockey players. But you know, some things like you just don't know about. But I'm glad the Caps did the right thing there. Big Sam, Franzen, and Optimistic Caniac scoring first for the Canes. Second period, Big Sam with another goal. And third period, it is tied. We're going to overtime, folks. I don't love to see that. But hopefully the Canes can get a win here. And I forgot about the Kuznetsov thing. Hopefully he got the help that he needed. And, you know, yeah, hopefully he got the help that he needed to kind of combat that and find healthy ways to, you know, live. But looks like the Canes are starting on the penalty kill here, which is not an ideal way to start overtime. Oh gosh. 2-on-1, but the Canes come back, luckily. And Dahlin with the puck is... Oh, what a play. Michael Goodrow coming back. And just 30 seconds left to kill on this power play. Big Sam, Liljegren with the puck. Eklund now is going to skate it into the zone. Liljegren with the puck. Shot blocked. So, oh, misses on the one-timer. And Big Sam is going to dump the puck out. We've got 11 seconds left. Canes have pretty much almost killed this, but they have time for one more rush. Philip Zadina with the puck now. Zadina's carrying it into the zone. What a play. Tommy Watson on the back check. Canes are going to ice off the rest of that time, and the penalty is over. Huge penalty kill to start overtime. Leafs really don't get any chances. What a hit. Gilson with the puck. He's just going to cover it up. And that's going to be that for that, you know? Optimistic Caniac still high up there in goals in these playoffs. And there we go. Ooh, nice play to get it to Vinanen, and then Optimistic Caniac with the puck. Nice little toe drag, but nothing comes of it. And at least get the puck. Marner with the puck now. Back and forth action so far in overtime. Lawton with the puck. Shot saved. Tuomas Solani is going to get the rebound. Solani to Optimistic Caniac. Once again makes a move, dishes it back to Vinanen, shoots and... No, that was a pass. Excuse me. Reinhardt to Jamie Drysdale to Mitch Marner. Marner with the puck on his stick. Shoots. Good save by Gilson. With Leipzig, it's not like people got offended. It's like he was saying some really terrible things to... like about people's like his teammates, and about like he was just saying a lot of really like terrible things. And you know, like, you, from a PR standpoint, you don't want to associate that with your team, so the Caps may have had to take like a drastic move, but you'd rather do that than just not, than risk like alienating your fan base, which the NHL is sometimes prone to do. Great play in the defensive zone though, but Mitch Marner, man, he's just wreaking havoc on the Canes this period. He is all over every puck. Evan Stansel gives it to Aho. Aho's going to get it to Nikolai Nabokov. Nabokov's entering the zone, has some help in Aho, but turns it over. Canes are turning over the puck too much. Laxinen to Aho. Aho gets crunched along the boards by Drysdale. Looks like he might be hurt. Hopefully he's okay. Mitch Marner with the puck now. Once again, just creating havoc. Shoots and it's wide. Canes defense had a help in that though. 84 with the puck. That might be Nabokov. Can't really see. To Tommy Watson. Watson shooting. Saved by Josh Granton. They're going to cover up. Canes need to change up these lines and get things going, because it's clearly not working out in this overtime. Canes get the third line of Hämäläinen, Watson, and Franzen out now. Zadina gets the puck to Eklund. Eklund with the puck. Ooh, great play by Samuel Girard to Franzen. Franzen trying to give it to Watson, but Watson to Hämäläinen, back to Watson. with the puck. Sam Girard, puck on a stick to Laxton. He's going to actually dish it back to Tommy Watson. He had a shooting lane. Girard, it's blocked. Watson, oh, great move, shooting. And a couple good saves by Brennan. That's the best chances we've seen in overtime. It's been a pretty boring overtime. Yzerman with the puck, the franchise defenseman. Hamalainen with it to Watson. Watson has it on his stick. Behind the net, circles back, shoots, blocked shot. Tommy Watson to Franzen. That was Michael Goodrow with the shot. Watson having the puck. This has been a great shift for the third line of the Canes. But the puck ends up getting out of the zone. Philip Zadina with it. Shot saved. Gilson a couple of times. Optimistic Kaniak now with the puck. Back to Yzerman. Yzerman to Franzen to Optimistic Kaniak behind the net. Ooh, nice little stick lift there. Prevents the one-time opportunity. I'm not sure what happened with Bertuzzi. I haven't been educated on that. Kane, that's a different story, and I don't really want to get into that one. Kuznetsov, like, I'm legitimately happy he's still in the league because he's a very entertaining player to watch. I'm just hoping that he's also gotten the help that he needs, because I know the damages that drug addiction can do, and so I hope that he's okay. Svechnikov to Big Sam, shot right into the chest, but I think the Leafs defenseman gets it there. The real crime is that Tyler Bertuzzi's brother's name is Tag. Big Sam wins the face-off. Optimistic Kaniak. Yzerman's been on the ice a lot this overtime. I mean, why wouldn't he? He's like 95 overall. What a save! Big Sam scores! Josh Granton with a masterful save. But the Hurricanes win. Wow. What a stop. But the Canes win thanks to Big Sam. They did, and I know he did like the little program that the league offers. So that's very good. And if he got the help he needs, I'm all for that. But let's take a look at this again. Just kind of some back and forth puck action. Yzerman with the shot. So it's going to be Big Sam, possibly. I don't know if they're going to count it as like a stop and then like a change in possession. If not, it's going to be Big Sam from Yzerman and Goodrow. So Big Sam, here's Yzerman with the shot. Great deflection by Big Sam. He's going to knock this puck right out of the air. Josh is going to make a phenomenal pad save and try the poke check. Big Sam's going to backhand it right under the pad, and just a great play overall. Canes win the series, and folks, it took us a while, but we're finally out of the first round after having, a first place finish in the division. If you watched the last stream, with JVR was our coach, James Van Riemsdyk was our coach for 3 seasons. In his first year, we weren't very good, but we made it to the Eastern Conference Final and lost. Second season, first in the division, I believe first in the conference, lost in the first round. Third season, same deal. So we fired JVR as our coach. So that is our story. That is where we're at. Playoffs are... First round of the playoffs is done. And it's going to be Canes versus Penguins. Charlotte's season is also over. They lost to Providence in the first round. Canes versus Penguins second round matchup, game number 1, first period. Hamalainen scoring a goal for the Canes. He's having a quietly good playoffs. And Svechnikov with another goal. I love to see that. Third period, we're going to overtime, folks. I like doing these overtimes. I hope you all enjoy watching them. Pittsburgh's had a lot of injuries on offense. I doubt they could have made the playoffs with an 82 overall offense. So hopefully the Canes get a win here. We're 1-1 in overtime in the playoffs so far. Looks like Landon McCallum, who was a former Hurricane, is their first line center, which is strange. McCallum with a nice pickpocket on Svechnikov to Winehandle. Winehandle, nice little move. Joseph makes a save. Okay. Entertaining, little shift there. Popov, there's a good shot of Popov, one of the penalty minutes leaders in these playoffs, along with, I did see, this is a weird line. Antonio Stranges, and Anthony Honka was the most polarizing player in the draft last year, and there are going to be few prospects as polarizing as him, but Stranges in this year's draft, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I know for a fact that people either love him or hate him. He is a player that people are extremely hot and cold on. Optimistic Caniac gets crunched. That was a bit of a suicide pass there. And he's just going to get right off on a change. The Canes are going to go out with their second line, Sebastian Aho, Evan Stansel, and the like. Thorburn to Stranges. What a play to break up that pass. Evan Stansel's going to be out on the ice now. Evan with the passes it to Nabokov. Scores! Canes win! You guys all in. Post and the Canes take game one. Oh, dude uses a wooden stick. No way. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he uses a wooden stick. Strong start. Here's Evan Stansel with the puck to Nabokov. There's just a nice little shot fake, and the Canes are going to walk away with game one. Let's take a look at this again. I want to see who this is from. So it's obviously Evan Stansel with one of the assists. It's going to be Nabokov from Stansel and Yzerman. Evan's going to enter in the zone. We'll go this way with the camera angle. I want to see it. Just a nice little pass to Nabokov. And look at this, just a little shot fake, makes the move, pumps it back, and he's actually going to go 5-hole on the player and just squeak it right past the pad. Great shot. And the Canes are going to win. You love to see it. Might only do one season tonight since it is kind of late. Yeah, this will probably be the only season we get to tonight, but I'll make sure to go through the draft this time. That way I can get that out of the way, because that does take up a lot of time. Same with free agency. I'll try and do that beforehand. I just keep forgetting. I'm sorry. First period, Hämäläinen with another goal, having a great playoffs. Second period, we had a goal from Nabokov, the game one hero. And third period, Pittsburgh cuts the lead in half, but Gilson with a very strong performance in net. Canes win 2-1. They take a 2-0 series lead. I like it. We've had some strong performances in the playoffs, but it seems like it's been up and down throughout the lineup. Nobody's running away with the scoring race. It's not just one line contributing. It's all four lines really. Three. I haven't seen the fourth line produce yet, but we've got three lines rolling. You love that. Kearns and the fourth line gets it done actually. So I like that. Tie game still, Samuel Girard scoring and Sebastian Aho getting a goal. Third period, we win. Tommy Watson scoring and Hämäläinen, who once again is just crushing it these playoffs, gets a goal. And the Canes win 5-4. He was participating. I didn't see all the usernames, but I definitely know he was in there. I also saw a player whose last name was Keane in there, same spelling as Canes prospect Joey Keane. I looked it up today. They're not related, so we don't have to worry about anything for that. But yeah, that's all I really know about that. I looked at the messages, but I didn't really see the player names or anything like that. I know most of the players involved, other than Leipzig, never made it past junior hockey. So, first period of game 4, Canes could win the series here. They could sweep the Penguins in the second round. Evan Stansel with a goal late in the period. Third period, tie game. Tommy Watson scores and Landon McCallum scores to say my season's not done just yet. And yeah, Pittsburgh actually did get some offensive help back, because now their offense is at an 87, so it looks like they just had some injuries, which is unfortunate for them because it seems like they could have been a really strong team this year. But It's good for us because obviously the team's worse. So, like, it's a little easier for us. But either way, overtime, game 4. Canes could sweep the Penguins with a win in this game. Penguins could avoid a sweep. That is your... Oh, absolutely. He'll play for Bill Peters' team. Optimistic Kaniak with the puck on the circle, shoots, and a good save by the goalie. He's just going to stick that one away. What a hit from Svechnikov. Optimistic Kaniak. Another nice save from Foss on the backhand. Also, you guys see that Nel Yakupov got traded? He was teammates with Kochetkov before Kochetkov got traded, and now he's going to be teammates with Kochetkov again, so that's kind of neat. Goodrow, Yzerman has it. Svechnikov with a shot. May have been going wide, but a save for Foss nonetheless. And another save for Foss. Optimistic Kaniak loving the backhand here. Svechnikov, top 3 in hits in these playoffs. And he got another one there with that thunderous hit in the corner. Either way, Big Sam with another face-off win. Michael Goodrow, I'd love to see him just take a shot, just crank it from the point. Ooh, big hit. I believe that was on Big Sam. Kind of a block. He didn't get all that shot, but either way, with the puck, it's Winehandle. And Yzerman with a nice little defensive play on Winehandle to break up that pass. Optimistic Kaniak gonna get hit. Strangers with the puck. Shoots. Partially blocked, and Jilson makes the save. I like that Kirill Slepets is with Locomotive. Hopefully he can get a chance out there. In the Canes Prospects Awards, there was somebody that voted for Kirill Slepets for player they were most excited to watch. I'm not sure what that is, but, you know, like, clearly they know a little more than I do, or, you know, they just like the name. Aho to Nabokov. Nice pass up to Nabokov. Gets crunched along the boards. Physical series, so physical overtime, I should say. But either way, Shelley with the puck now is going to enter the zone to Vlasic to Kang, and that is not Alex Vlasic, the Chicago prospect. I think he's a Chicago prospect. I don't like Alex Vlasic as a player. He's very boring, and I don't think he offers very much at the NHL level. Nice hit. What a hit. Very physical series and very physical overtime. Banach gets crunched along the boards. Nice save from Jilson there, I guess, on the replay. Okay. Third line out for both teams now. Canes get the face-off win. And Tommy Watson with the puck. Watson is going to enter into the... No, he's going to pass to Tuomas Solani. Up to Franzen. Franzen with the puck to Solani. Solani to Vinanen. Vinanen shoots, and an easy save by Foss, the Penguin goaltender. Oh, great pass, but Banach is there to make the play dead. Fun overtime. Paulson with the shot. Jilson with the save. He's going to hold on, and we got 10:49 left in overtime. Let's take a look at this. And is it a hit? Yes, a big hit by Vinanen in there. Trevor, I appreciate the follow on the Prospects account, my guy. To McCallum. McCallum shoots, and a good save by Jilson. And I couldn't see who it was. Foss makes an easy save. Alright then. Easy enough, I guess. Yeah, it's, you know, I honestly haven't been tweeting that much. Like, you know, I always scroll through it every day to see if there's anything going on, like, with the prospects, or, like, if there's any, like, interview, or, you know, if there's just something interesting, or if, you know, there's news, but there just really hasn't been anything, so, like, there really hasn't been a reason to follow it, you know? I was kind of hoping that, like, week we signed David Cotton. Like, I was hoping that week would be exciting, and we'd sign, like, a couple players, but it just hasn't happened. So I haven't really had much to talk about. Big Sam with the puck to Yzerman, and Michael Goodrow, and Svechnikov. Big Sam should save by Foss. And just so you guys know, typically my policy with the Canes Prospect account is I keep it Canes Twitter free, but I keep my DMs and mentions open to everybody. Um, that policy started when there was a lot of like fighting on Canes Twitter, and I just didn't want to deal with all the fighting. Because like a lot of I tried following some Canes Twitter accounts, and they would just quote. I'm not gonna name names as to who they are, in case anybody really likes those accounts, but they kept fighting with each other and bringing in a lot of really bad, just negativity. Oh, scores! Canes win the series. They brought in a lot of negativity, so I just try and keep that place Canes Twitter free, and that front is where I really try and like follow all of Canes Twitter and make all that stuff happen. Our goalie a future like in the system in real life or in the and like in the franchise mode? Gotta help me out a little bit here because we're running like two different realities. So I did an article, shameless plug here. I did an article. This was probably about a month ago. Um, Analyzing like the depth we had at each position in the system, and my controversial opinion that I'm like sticking to my guns here is that I'm not convinced that we have a franchise goaltender, like an A-level prospect in the system. Kochetkov I'd consider like a very good prospect, and he's if the problem that I have, like, I would rate him as an A, but he's very injury prone and didn't see a whole lot of playing time last season. When he got playing time with his KHL team, he was good. But the fact that he didn't see a whole lot of playing time kind of hindered his development a little bit, and so I'm a little nervous about that. But he's probably our franchise goalie. Ned could be like on the tier of like maybe like a James Reimer type, where he's like, a very good backup, but maybe probably not a starter, I'd say. Um, I'd keep an eye on guys like Jack LaFontaine as well, uh, who was a player that I kind of wrote off as like not an NHL player 2 years ago, but he's been phenomenal. I want Ned to succeed too, but I don't know. With I'm hoping that with LaFontaine we can get some NHL games out of him because I like his style, and I think that now that he's a starter, he'll be good. Iichi Makiniemi is another name to watch out for, especially now that the starting goalie for his team is heading to North America. He was lights out in Liga this year and like 7 appearances, but has been great. So keep an eye on him. Ned's just been the victim of, we've had too many goalies. Last season, I really feel like that could have been his year, but Curtis McElhinney was just fantastic. And this year, in order to get rid of Scott Darling, we had to get James Reimer. And I mean, look at Reimer; he was great this season. So he's just been the victim of like every time we've had an opening for him on the roster, and we've tried a backup goalie instead of him, our backup goalie has gone and had like a phenomenal year. People are excited for Fensore, man. I think his friends and family kind of skewed the Canes Prospect Awards thing a little bit because I woke up and there were like 12 new like votes for him. But I'm happy for Fensore. He is the one player that I got to watch at camp this year, like at Prospects camp, that stood out every time he was on the ice because of how hard he worked. Mike Murphy, oh my god, yeah. That is a throwback name right there if I've ever seen one. Canes take game 1 of this series though. But yeah, always down to chat prospects, man. That's kind of my thing. And especially like our 2019 picks, like I watched a lot of games and highlights and whatever I could of, you know, the 2019 draft prospects. So I know a lot about the 2019, like a lot of 2019 draft picks. Hopefully the Canes can win this game. They can't come back, but Big Sam does score a power play goal. That's actually like kind of a nice jersey. The coolest jersey. So I work merch at PNC, if you didn't know. And at the equipment sale, like the coolest, just most random jersey, I guess you could say, that I've ever sold was a jersey from when we played in Helsinki, and it was a Jared Stahl jersey. he, I mean, he's a tiny guy. There's no talking around it. Fensori is a tiny dude, but he plays like he's 6'3". Effort out the wazoo, which is supposed to be where it comes out of, from what I've heard. Um, he's like if Chad LaRose played defense. That's a good way to analyze it, but he's better offensively. So I think that's the best way to put it, is if Chad LaRose played defense, then like played as a defenseman, that's Dominic Fensore. Aho scoring first for the Canes. Second period, we get a goal from Big Sam. Third period, Canes win. Edmonds and Svechnikov scoring as well. Yeah, upstairs at PNC, like, watch out for like the Summerfest when we do more like the clearance sales and like the Caniac Carnival. There's gonna be so many Lindholm jerseys. There's gonna be a lot of Rask jerseys. We might have a few Holla jerseys. Maybe we don't have any Walmart, but like we might have a few Holla jerseys to sell. First period, Canes get a goal from Evan Stansel. Second period, nothing doing. We're going overtime. Big Sam with a goal. Lindholm, people hate him for doing the storm surge. I love it. I love that he did that. You gotta get we can't call ourselves a bunch of jerks if we get mad at people who make fun of our celebrations, because then it just makes us seem soft. But Lindholm is a player that I absolutely love to have kept around. I'm really disappointed that it was that Ferland was all we got for Lindholm and Hanifin. Like, in addition to Dougie Hamilton, I feel like we could have done better than Ferland. We have quite a few Darling jerseys, but ooh, damn. And getting an Adidas jersey 50% off, that's nice. If you can get an Adidas jersey for cheap. Oh, there's the puck. Okay. I'd do it. Because the Canes jerseys are so nice. I love all of our jerseys. I'm excited for what the Stadium Series jersey will be. I have no idea what it's going to look like, but if the jersey for the Stadium Series even looks like remotely as cool as the black jerseys, then it's going to be dope. Yzerman with the puck, shoots, cranks it up, and he just misses it wide. Canes and Cannons with it. Oh, I know, like, if I had money, the Stadium Series jersey would be an instant buy. Just because of how cool it was. But I am wondering, like, if the season being delayed changes the Stadium Series at all. I'm curious to see how that works. Ooh, Evan with a huge hit on the Ottawa player. And I believe this is game 5, so the Canes could win this game and win the series and move on to the Stanley Cup final. Michael Goodrow is going to kick it to Sebastian Aho. Aho gives it up to Nabokov. Nabokov to Evan Stansel. This has been a great line in the playoffs for the Canes, especially in overtime. We'll be buying one with Stormy on the back. That's a good one. As long as it's like somebody related with the team, it's cool to spend your money on it, you know? The weirdest jerseys I've sold are when people get like inside jokes on the back of their jersey that like only they'll get, and they drop like an obscene amount of money. It's just strange to me, you know. Oh, he misses it wide, a wide open net too. Vinanen's gonna pass it, gets too fancy. Nice save by Jolson on Alexander Holtz. Wow. Nabokov. I do see quite a few Stormy jerseys in the arena though. Nabokov to Solani, Solani to Vinanen. This is a Finnish pairing here. Defense. Sebastian Aho has it. Vinanen, he and Vinanen are playing catch. Evan Stancil shoots. Ooh, nice little move, but Canes and Cannons was having none of that. Nice. 69. I've never seen anybody like that. Thank God I didn't work when like the Harambe thing was going on, because I'm pretty sure we had a few people order Harambe jerseys. I'm trying to think of what else there would have been. I have one jersey. I got a Slavin jersey for Christmas one year because I wanted a jersey of a player who was going to be here for a while. And Slavin, like, that was Slavin's first year of his 7-year deal, and I was like, okay, he's going to be here for a while. I got a Skinner jersey, like an old black alternate jersey, for really cheap at a yard sale, and then I got a really cheap jersey of Wade Minter's beer league team with my name on the back because it was like $70, and I was like, why not? I like goalies too, we just don't keep goalies around as much or as long as I'd like. My dad's jersey is really nice. He has like a really old Brindamore jersey. There's one jersey I have also I'm gonna get framed that has like autographs from like over a decade worth of Canes players and prospects and stuff. And one thing I have on my wall here while we're on the topic of like merchandise, it's a cool thing that I guarantee you nobody else has because my dad had the only one in existence. It is from the 2011 All-Star Game. It is the sign that was outside of the merch stand in the hotel where the players stayed at, which my dad worked at during the All-Star Game in 2011. And most of the players that came by signed it. That was a dirty hit from behind, but okay. The players that didn't sign were, I know Ovechkin didn't sign because Ovi was apparently really rude. Oh, that's nice. I was in school when he came to Raleigh, so I didn't get to watch that game, or I didn't get to go work that game. The All-Star Game merchandise thing is like the coolest thing. I know Erik Karlsson and I think Brent Burns is on it as well. There's a few other like bigger name players. Backus was at that All-Star Game. I think he's on that. There's a couple other like big name. Was it bad? I can't actually remember. Was that the Dallas game? Or was Dallas on the road? I can't remember. That whole thing seems like it was like, a year ago. It was the Dallas game? Oof. Yeah, okay, I remember that one. I think, because that game was on, like, what, like a Tuesday night? Yeah, because I turned it off because I was in my finance class watching it, but that game was even more boring than finance. That's right, I remember that now. Second line out for the Canes, and yeah, nothing. This overtime's been a little boring. Elizabeth a pass, shoot, score. Yeah, luckily, even when I was going to games when the Canes were like pretty terrible, I didn't watch too many stinkers. Like I have never been able to go to more than like maybe 5 games a year, just because of money and work and school and stuff. But like, I've been lucky enough to like pick the games that haven't been stinkers. Like the worst game I've ever seen was like a 3-0 loss to Vancouver. Ooh. Ottawa forces a game 7. They were, but I can't remember if we had, if the Sedines are on here. Oh no, they didn't. Well, what's the score of the series? Oh, it's 3-2 Ottawa. Shoot. Stamkos is on here. He's up in the top corner. He has like the biggest signature on here, at least one of them. Jeff Skinner's on here as well. Because that was Skinner's rookie season. Oh yeah, that's funny. They were drafted to. It wasn't Phil Kessel the last pick. Evan Stansel with the first goal. That's right, because it's the only draft where they've had like or the only All-Star game where they had like a draft. So Canes, our season is over in the Eastern Conference Final. Good debut for the coach. The NHL kind of dropped the ball by choosing Slavin as our All-Star as opposed to Svetch, because they could have marketed the crap out of that freaking lacrosse move at that All-Star game. But like, yeah, they really should have done that. It was kind of a dropped ball on the NHL's part. Sean Monahan retiring. So interestingly enough, Aho does not retire. Barzal, Nylander, Tkachuk, Bratt. Toronto gets a good bit worse, losing Nylander. Oh, Nylander was 74 overall, never mind. Tkachuk was 82 overall, so that's still a loss. Noah Hannafin and Teuvo Teravainen retiring. Oh man, speaking of Borgstrom, I don't know if you guys saw, the rumor has it that Borgstrom is going to be heading back to Finland and is going to play for Jokerit next year. Like leaving Florida's system. Oh, no good goalies retired. That's interesting. Which is huge. He was a first round pick of the Panthers. My NHL Central Scout and my Extra League Scout retired. That's the first time we've had scouts retire in a while. And I need a new AHL goalie coach, of course. Obviously, like, I would love to take a look at Borgstrom. I think he's a really good prospect still. But at the same time, it just goes to show you how bad the Panthers are at developing their prospects. Everyone's like, oh, the Panthers made all these additions. Why aren't they good? They can't develop. Where the damn? Ottawa did win the Stanley Cup. So congrats to Canes and Cannons on winning the cup. Like, Ottawa is so terrible at developing their prospects, man. Alexi Haponiemi had a phenomenal season in his draft year. Phenomenal. What was it? When was he drafted? I'm looking this up on Elite Prospects. I can't remember. I'm scared for Knight too, man. He doesn't have, with Bobrovsky locked up for as long as he is. Like, there's just gonna be no room for Spencer Knight. Haponiemi was a 2017 pick. So the year after his draft year, he had a phenomenal year in the WHL. Had a great year in the Liga last year. And was terrible in the AHL with Springfield this year. If the rumors are true and Florida's going to take over our affiliate, what's going to happen, man? The Panthers, or Florida's going to take over the Checkers. Like, Charlotte's going to be terrible next year. Because Florida can't develop their prospects. They either rush their prospects, or in Haponiemi's case, they just don't have a good coach. And yeah, they just can't do it. Florida is so bad at drafting. Outside, like, it's like their GM, I think it's Dale Talon, he just tells their scouts, like, take a look at the first round pick, We got the first round pick. We'll just wing it for the rest of the draft. It blows my mind. Corey winning Art Ross and look at this. Art Ross, Hart, Norris. My gosh. Conn Smythe actually went to Savoy. Vesna went to Carter Metz. Congrats to him and the William M. Jennings. Congrats. Corey also won the Ted Lindsay. And Day, this is not a creative player, but he won the Richard. I took a look, like, people are all like, oh, Edmonton's really, like, bad at drafting, lol. Bro, Florida is one of the worst teams at developing. Because you could be like, oh, Pittsburgh's not very good at drafting or developing either. Pittsburgh has success with their prospects. That's why they're still good. And they can evaluate talent outside of their organization too, like in free agency, like NCAA free agents. You did, yeah. I forget how many goals you had. It was like 57, I think. We're gonna send to pick 28, though. Let's see what we got. Nothing. Well, I know. So we have two options. I can get the left winger or I can get the right winger. This guy we list as a gem. Owen Nolan comparison. This guy we don't list as a gem. Theo Fleury comparison. We have him ranked a little higher. I also love this Nurmi player. I'm gonna pick Rypien. Adrian Rypien. I need a good first round pick, you know? Owen Tippett. Tippett has potential, but he's a one-dimensional player. Lawson Krause, that was a terrible pick. I agree, man. I would love to see Florida do better. I would love to see another Southern hockey team doing well. But the Panthers can't draft, and they can't develop. That's a bad pick. Let's see. What, did I miss out on anything good? Doesn't appear so. I'm all for the success of Southern hockey, but my goodness, as long as the Panthers are like a meme, it just won't happen. I love when I get two really good players. I know this guy's a low top 4D, but he's a gem. And get in the top 6 forward. It's not a gem. That wasn't listed as a gem, but he's still a gem. If this guy really is a medium top 4D, this is another phenomenal pick. Medium top 60. It's still good, but not nearly as good. Let's take a look at potential. There's a goalie that I may consider getting. I haven't picked a goalie in a while, so I might just do it. Low top 6 forward late in the draft. He's 18. Yeah, I'm going to pick him later on in the draft, though, not right now. Alright, doesn't appear to be anything else great, so we're going to pick this goalie. Give me a second. I was kind of hoping his name would be Baron Corbin. That would have been funny. But I'll pick a goalie up. I haven't drafted a goalie in a while. Medium backup. That's not very good. I just need... Bro, Vancouver... Trading Tyler Madden was tough. Tyler Madden is a very good prospect, and honestly one of my favorites to watch, but unfortunately, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to succeed. They still have an elite team, or an elite group of prospects. Definitely one of the higher end pools in the league. Not this year. The only reason I say not this year is because we've seen a lot of players already, most notably like David Ferentz of BU, Boston University, haven't signed with their NHL teams because like a lot of players feel like cheated out of, I mean, you obviously can't control the disease and the virus, but like their seasons got canceled, and especially with Drury, you want that extra shot at the NCAA championship, and with it would have been a great year for him to sign because we don't have a ton of centers in the system right now, but at the same time, I think it's never gonna hurt a player to have an extra year developing. I don't love the fact that Harvard is in the ECAC and doesn't and plays less games than other NCAA schools, but I can't control that. So everything I've heard about Drury is that he loves, he's a great kid, easy player to work with, and um, never heard about how he doesn't want to sign. Like, also kind of feel like when Adam Fox didn't sign, um, a lot of people got worried and like, oh, all of our college free agents aren't gonna sign now, and that's just kind of not true. Like, the Canes still have plenty of great NCAA players, and a lot of them, really like playing here, like the system. With Drury, I legitimately just think that he wants an extra year to try and chase a championship because Harvard's going to be good next year. Again, Nabokov didn't have a great year, and I know he doesn't want to sign, but like, he's a good player. Yeah, he's a good player. Aho wants another contract. Still a top 6 forward. He only wants a year. I gotta keep doing that, man. Edmonds does not want a contract. I don't blame him, and you know what? I won't sign him. I'm not gonna force him to stay here. I am gonna get rid of him. I know I put McLeod on the trade block and said I wouldn't sign him, but medium top 6 forward, we'll see what he can do. I also need prospects at the AHL level, especially at center. Left wingers, Hull doesn't want to sign again. I like Hull on my 4th line. I don't know, man. The Caps had a really good draft, and so did the Penguins. But as long as Rutherford's in charge of the Penguins, who knows what's gonna happen, man. I like that prospect. I like his development path. This guy's probably not an NHL player, but I'll sign him. Defense, Gerard wants a contract. I can do better than that, though. Definitely gonna qualify him. I'll let go of you. Hopefully he works out. And I'm not gonna sign either. I'll give him a contract. Why not? Goaltending. Jilson and Holmberg, my goalie tandem. Holmberg, I'm really hoping grows to like an 82, 83 this season. Alright. Go to unsigned. No point in letting this guy just sit outside of the AHL. Other than that, this guy's looking promising. I'm liking Nedved. Yeah, so I have 2 promising prospects entering the system next year. Okay. I could sit here all day. You type this comment 5 times, 5 times, 5 times, 5 times. But yeah, I mean, As long as you guys are here asking questions and talking, I will stay streaming. I know it is 1:15 in the morning, but I'll figure we'll do it. I know. That's funny. That's alright, you just wanted to honor Booker T with your questions. But yeah, if you want to rattle off draft picks, man, I'll try my best to give insight. School this year took a little bit of a time away from me, so I wasn't able to watch as much hockey as I could, but I still am familiar with quite a few players. Let me make sure as well that there aren't, that we didn't have any players not sign. Every player signed that wanted to sign. I love it. You love to see it. Next stream, yeah, it is getting kind of late. Got another, let's see. Yeah. You know what? I might actually call it a night. And then, yeah, that just seems to make the most sense. As it is pretty late, and I do need to sleep at some point. So, I don't see them making any big changes because with the salary cap not changing and not this offseason but next season you gotta sign Dougie Hamilton and Andrei Svechnikov. You gotta keep that you gotta keep that salary cap wide open. You never know, but I think the fact that the salary cap is staying where it's at is gonna it's gonna change the Canes strategy. You're gonna want to keep as much of the salary or as much money as you can so that you can afford to give Svetch a blank check pretty much. And same with Dougie Hamilton, because you're going to want to keep both players around. So this offseason, probably not as much. Next offseason might be interesting, but Svetch is looking at whatever you give him, man. Seriously, whatever you give Andrei Svechnikov, like it'll be worth it. Yeah, it'll be worth whatever. It doesn't matter, man. Like, it's not gonna matter. Svetch is gonna get paid. So I definitely need a 4C. Left wing, I'm good. Right wing, I'm also good. Defense, I need 2 defensemen. I'm really disappointed in Laxinen. Yeah, like, I don't know how much Svetch is gonna get. I can't answer that, but he's gonna, yeah, blank check, right? So I need an AHL head coach and an AHL goalie coach. I'm just gonna hire the best AHL head coach I can find, or at least the one with the best teaching. The San Jose Barracuda. Luckily this offseason we don't have too many changes to make to the roster. I don't see any of the defensemen coming back other than Fleury, who, I mean, Fleury was our best. Fleury and Jake Gardner benefited from what's his name being out. No, I think they're equal. Both of them. Svetch is an elite player in his own right and is a first line right winger. Dahlin is a first pairing defenseman and could be a franchise defenseman. Svetch could be a franchise right winger. I think a franchise defenseman is more valuable, but I think they're pretty even in terms of skill, if that makes sense. So Dahlin is more valuable to a franchise. However, Svetch is an elite player. So I need 2 defensemen and a fourth line center. While you guys are asking questions, I'm just gonna keep streaming. I'm gonna keep streaming until you all leave. Or until my family comes in and yells at me. Whichever comes first. Possibly both. So... I don't see... Oh, Panda, you wanted to see your contract. Let me go do that before I forget. Yeah, you wanted to see your contract. And Trevor, I believe you have a contract year remaining. Just one. But to be sure, I will check. Yes, 1 year remaining on your deal. Panda, your player, has 4 years remaining. So you will more than likely be a career Dallas Star. Defense. Miettinen. I like Finns. He doesn't fit in this system. That's unfortunate. Di Salvatore. Penalty kill line 2. I wouldn't ever play him on the penalty kill. Penalty kill line 2. He's a shutdown defenseman, which I do need actually. He wants 6 years. Let me give him 4. Wade is a free agency? There's a free agent? I did see that. He's like a center though, I think. Yeah, he is a center. I don't need centers. I need a 4th line center. But, you know, it'd be kind of funny to have Wade on the team. Maloney doesn't fit anyways, otherwise I would have picked him up. See, Miettinen doesn't fit, and that's why I won't pick him up. It doesn't seem like this coach is very good for a defenseman, unfortunately. Running defensive defenseman doesn't fit. Beaulieu, defensive defenseman, fits on all PK lines. None of my defensive lines. Nelson Steckel doesn't fit. Doug Emmerich, LOL. All PK. Brule, no fit. It seems like this coach isn't a very good fit for defensemen. Beaulieu fits on all of my PK lines. I just need another defenseman. I don't want you for more than a year. Because I feel like I can do better than this guy next year. Well, I do a season. I'm gonna do as many seasons of this as I can, especially if I'm quarantined. You know, I might as well. Doesn't look like there are any prospects available at the high end of things. I just want to keep looking, you know, in case I missed any gems. Elliot Armstrong. I'll sign this guy, why not? So what I'm actually gonna do, I forgot to hire my scouts, didn't I? Every player that's created already, like in this series, is going to stay in it. Yeah, so every player that's already in this series, I'm gonna keep. I needed a European scout. Can't do better than a B. This guy's actually, like, worse, but I like that his discovery is a C. No, efficiency is a C minus. That doesn't outweigh the discovery. So I'll just do that. Career star. Yeah, I've noticed that most players typically stay with their teams. There are a few free agents, but not many. it's pretty consistent, I'd say. Alright, my AHL head coach has signed. That's cool. And my goalie coach has signed in the NHL. Both of my scouts have signed, and I got one prospect. As long as you're not a Saber. I'm going to make sure that you are not a Saber next time. I'm kidding, I can't do that. I can't show favoritism. I do my best to make sure that you know, get players moved from teams if they don't want to stay like on a certain team. The problem is when a player's value gets too high, I can't do anything about it. So it's a little tough. Alright, I got both of my defensemen, that's what I wanted. I got my AHL goalie coach. Did I... Oh shoot, I forgot to sign my center. I needed a fourth line center. Crap. Jacola. And he wants a year, that's perfect. Yeah, and it's weird, because Trevor, in the last series of this, Buffalo was great. Like, Buffalo was consistently good, like, in the middle and towards the end of the, what can I think of it? Of the series. This time, they were, like, decent at the beginning, and then just crap towards the end now. It's like they didn't have a plan for when Jack Eichel retired or got a little worse. So hopefully, you know, they can get better. It seems like you guys are on the up and up. Oh, they just wanted to trade me Natchez. Dang, I wish I was paying attention. Why do they want me to trade Nedved? I don't want to do that. But yeah, I don't know. It just happens, man. I am gonna... That's how it'll be in real life for them. Yeah. The Sabres got a really good goalie prospect in Eric Portillo. He was a player that I didn't watch at all last year. So I was really shocked when they picked him up, but he's looking like a legit prospect. I'll have to go back and look at my draft like ratings or like the grades that I gave certain teams. But I remember really liking Pittsburgh's draft. I didn't like Boston's draft. I didn't love Montreal's. I'll give Tommy Watson time on the second line. Why not? Alright, poll. It's almost 1:30 in the morning. Do you all want me to stop now? Or would you rather me play a little bit and then get off? Like, just like halfway through the season, or like sim to the playoffs. I don't know, I'm open to suggestions. If you all want me to keep going, I will by all means keep going. Sim to trade deadline? That's fair. I'll sim to February 1st like we did last time. And if you all are like, yeah, I can stay awake for a little longer, I'll keep going. If if I start feeling tired and I'm like, you know what, screw it, I just can't do this anymore, we'll stop. That's the plan. I will have to go to sleep at some point, but we'll reevaluate at the trade deadline. Oh yeah, I was playing through a game on my phone before this. Let's see what's going on. Man. Oh, nice. Sorry, I'm reading feedback I got on our resume. Quarantine does suck, I'm not even gonna lie. But there's been some really good positives about it. Like, I can't just focus on the bad. Like, I've been lucky enough to be healthy, been happy. Like, something really cool is we did, my grandma's birthday was on Wednesday, and obviously we all couldn't go see her and celebrate her birthday, so we did a Zoom call and told them how to work it and everything, and like they got in the Zoom call and everybody was there, and like it was like this really beautiful moment. Like my grandma was almost like crying, so like it was just like a really cool moment. So that's been like a big positive to come out of this. You know, I've been having more time to stream, which is always like, you know, it's a plus, it's fun, but I'd obviously also like to get back to work. Yeah, the one thing I do miss is working. I miss hockey a lot. Um, Actually, I'm up right now. I could start watching Korean baseball. Could live I could commentate that on stream, but no, I'm not gonna do that. But you know, it sucks being stuck at home, but there are some good things to come out of it. It's a lot easier to actually exercise at home than it is at school. There's less distractions. Yeah, I cannot skate, so I don't have to worry about that too much. I'm horrible. I'm a horrible skater. Terrible. Awful. Man, Canes are killing it this month though. 7-2-0, possibly ending the month 8-3 or 8-2-0. 7-2-1. Not bad. I guess there was UFC on tonight. People on my timeline are talking about it. I don't watch it. There's somebody on my timeline tweeting about the Korean Baseball League. That's funny. I got a trade offer. Curtis McElhaney. No, I'm kidding. I'm just gonna get rid of all my trade block. I don't want to keep getting trade offers. Man, this is a good year. We're doing real well. The one thing I think that I'm most disappointed about is right as the trade deadline, or right as the quarantine happened. So the NHL and AHL paused their season on Thursday, like on a Thursday, and the very next day, that Friday, I was supposed to have an interview with Joey Keane and somebody else, I can't remember, and Prince Pretty Roland McEwen, who, if you haven't been familiar with the bit, Prince Pretty, aka Roland McEwen, I have never seen Roland McEwen and Tyler Breeze in the same room. I was really looking forward to those interviews. So unfortunately, they haven't happened because obviously quarantine. But that would have been something really cool. So hopefully, I'll be able to get that done in the future. Um, Not sure when or why or how, but we'll make it work. Yeah, he is. Well, I've been trying to make the Prince Pretty bit happen all season because every time I look at Roland McEwen, I'm like, oh my god, this guy looks like Tyler Breeze. Um, Vancouver fires their coach. Wow, it's like who is Fandango? We decided it is. Um, did we decide that it was Nino or Mrazek? I can't remember. Let's be honest, since Fandango got hurt, nobody really pays attention to him. And Breeze is just sitting there in 205 live, just like, I don't know. Yeah, it could be Nino. We don't have like a strong looking Dango character, but yeah, Prince Pretty Tyler Breeze looks like Roland McEwen, so that's what whenever I call somebody, whenever I refer to him as Prince Pretty, like that's the joke. It's hilarious for me and like two other people, but the joke is worth it for me. Also, we have a bust projected to go in the first round. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that's pretty crazy. 9-2 win against the Coyotes, man. Also, I love to see that the Canes are first in the division. This is good. Michael Goodrow out with a sore hip. Think I can just continue this. Going on like that. Panda, I got your DM. I'll just answer it after the draft or after the stream. I don't want to like multitask right now. My brain can only handle two things. I'm trying to read comments and doing this, and like I'm already like tripping out on my words here. Michael Goodrow, boom. 4-2 win against the what's that? The Canucks. Thank you. Man, you're getting a lot of offers, like second round picks for guys with AHL potential. I don't like that. Lucas Raymond traded to Anaheim. Detroit gets a really good goalie. My goodness, look at that. Big trade there. Jacob Ponikarovsky out with a broken nose. My gosh. Hey, there's a win though. I really badly want to get back to work, man. Like, I want hockey back so bad. Ponikarovsky is back. I miss PNC. I really miss like working at PNC. It's the only job like I've really loved to come to every time I work there. Like even when the customers are terrible and like you know people tell me that I'm horrible at my job, even though I'm doing my job. Uh, like it's still a really great environment. Cheapest jersey we have at PNC. We have like some older ones or like old military jerseys. We have some of the practice jerseys up in the upstairs stores, like on the east and west side of the building on the 300 level, that are 50% off. So you're looking at like just about like 90-ish. I sell merch at PNC. You're looking at like 90 bucks, almost like $100 for a jersey, which is kind of a steal, but it's still kind of a lot. If you can fit into a kid's jersey, get a kid's jersey. Michael's out with a sprained ankle again. We'll view the draft class. I do whatever they need me to do. I can run the registers at PNC. Um, I can sell a jersey like nobody's business. Um, yeah, and I mean, I can do the cash register. Really, like I've worked there long enough. I've worked there since December of 2018. Like so I've worked there long enough where I can pretty much do everything they need me to do other than press names on jerseys. Which when in doubt, go stitched because yeah, it takes longer but it's the same price and I just like the stitching. Yeah, just look for like the painfully average fat white guy. You'll find me. I'm 5'10", I have brown hair, brown eyes. I'm a little heavy set. So it is February 1st. I'm still having a good time. I'm gonna keep it rolling to the deadline. It's 1 month of the game. Don't get me wrong, the press jerseys look really nice, and Kurt does an amazing job. Kurt's our guy that presses the jerseys. It's just, you know, like, people prefer the pressed, or the stitched. It's 80 extra to get it stitched. Covers the cost for shipping. You've probably had pressed that came off when a certain other person does it. I'm not gonna name his name, but he's a guy that likes to act like he knows what he's doing and ends up doing a really terrible job. 9 times out of 10 when Kurt does it, it turns out well. People just prefer the stitched, but heat press is the way to go. We pressed a lot of jerseys for Walmart's family this year when they came to town. Unfortunately, Walmart got traded, but you know. And stitching takes about 4 weeks. Because, you know, gotta send it up to Buffalo to get stitched. And the company in Buffalo does a lot of NHL jerseys. We can stitch any jersey, though. Any jersey that we've had as the Hurricanes, we can stitch, which is really great. Lots of trades. I'm not seeing any players other than Jonathan Wagner getting traded back to why can't I think of it? Minnesota. Yeah, for stitching, especially if you're gonna get Stadium Series, I don't even know when we'll have the Stadium Series jerseys. We might not even have them for sale until the month before that game. So I'm not sure when you'll be able to actually send that one out. Lots of injuries this season, but man, 41-15-1. We're just mopping the floor with the league here. Evan Stansel out with an X train. It don't even matter. We're still kicking ass. Alright. Philip Hedl traded from Washington to New Jersey. What are you all thinking? We still good to go, or are we winding down? What you could also do is just get the Stadium Series jersey and wait a little bit to get it stitched. Like save up some money, because you can bring that jersey back at any time and get it stitched. It's not gonna matter when you bring it back. So, kind of helps you out a little bit. Yeah, we'll finish the season. I might even do the playoffs, depending on how quickly the rest of the season goes by. Man, the Rangers royally stink this year, huh? Look at that. They were not good. Last in the division. Who are you gonna get, Trevor? Man, and like, I guess technically, it's the 10th now, but like, the 9th was the 1 year anniversary of like the watch party. Oh my gosh, that was some of the most fun I've had working at an event. Okay, I'm not surprised. So many people get Svetch, and I love it because it's one of the like most satisfying parts of the job is like watching people who like, especially on like Christmas time when people bought jerseys for people that and like the people didn't know hockey. It'd be like his the last name it starts with an S, and then I'd say like, oh, Svechnikov, and they'd be like, how'd you get that so fast? And I'd be like, I don't know, man. It's popular. 9-1 win against the Islanders. Last game of the season here against Montreal. And that's a 6-3 Canes win. Yeah, that's another option for sure. All right, you know what? We ball. Let's go. Let's do the playoffs. Why not? I'm gonna do the playoffs. Yeah, I'm always partial to Justin Williams because I always wore 14. Um, so I liked that. That's why I also really liked Sergei Samsonov. Big Sam with a big season at 33, 108 points. Svechnikov with 103. Svech, is he a Hall of Famer? Maybe. Big Sam hit 500 goals this season. That's cool. Optimistic Caniac, 95 points. Definitely offense wasn't an issue this year. My goodness. Fogel's a good player, man. I remember watching the Evan with a huge season after, some disappointing seasons. I remember watching it was London versus Erie, I believe in the second round of the OHL playoffs. And Fogel scored the series winning goal in overtime. It was like the coolest goal I've ever seen him score. And then he scored the crazy goal against Washington, and I was like, that's the coolest goal I've ever seen a player score. And then I'm trying to think, what's the best goal I've seen live? Has to be the Natchez goal against Arizona this past year. Oh my god, that was such a good goal. Aho at age 37 had 55 points, which is really good. Over 1,000 assists in his NHL career. Yeah, I was in the upper levels for that game, but we had won tickets. That was the coolest goal I've ever seen live. Goaltending wasn't a big issue this year. Alright. I didn't get any rookie skaters, but let's check everybody's stats, or at least the people that are watching. Trevor, 84 points. Still going strong as well. Over 1,000, over 1,100 NHL points. You'll hit, if you keep that pace, you'll hit 600 assists next year, not goals. Dallas? Oh, sorry, I have to X out of a message on my laptop. Panda, look at you, man. 95 points. 57 goals. Seem to like the 50s in terms of goals, but again, 1100 points. You hit 600 NHL goals this year. Yeah, can't complain about that. That's quite good. So, you know what? We ball. Let's do the playoffs. I didn't hit the button. And then after the playoffs, I might not even just sim to the draft. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna sim to the draft. I'm just gonna end the stream after that. So we'll kind of breeze through this a little bit. Svetch with 2 goals here, and the Canes win game 1. And I'll be on hopefully tomorrow night. Jokala's out with a pulled groin until the 20th. That's a bit of a tough injury. Charlotte, just a brief check. They're a playoff team. Nothing in the first period. Second period, same deal. Kearns scores in the third period. Canes lose though 3-1. Bit of an even series so far, I'd say. Yeah, that Arizona game was like, I asked off for that game and bought tickets. That's what it was. Like, it was the one game I went to this season. I didn't go to any other games. So I was at least happy I got to see a win. Because I mean, since I work at, I work merch, and now that the team's good, we actually need like a full staff. I can't go to many of the games. Ideally, in a few years, I'll get to work for the Canes, but wishful thinking, am I right? Hopefully it'll happen. 6 goals scored in that first period, and none of them were scored by the same player. 11-3, my god! Franzen, Big Sam, Evan Stancil, Big Sam again. This is going to be a heck of a game. That's one of my highest scoring games. I think 12-4 or 12-3 is still the highest, but Canes win 11-3 in emphatic fashion there. That brings the series to 2-1. Or no, is it 3-1? It's 3-1. So game 5, the Canes could advance to the second round. Canes with 4 goals. My goodness, we've chased Newbury twice. And again, all by different people. Optimistic Caniac with a goal. 7-1 is your final. Canes, if I get a job with the Canes, so I'm going to UNCG and I'll be graduating in December with a marketing degree. Ideally, I would work in like a social media capacity with the team, kind of like running Twitter or like social media strategy or something. But any type of marketing would be great for I don't care, but social media is typically what I'm focusing on because I kind of think that's the future. Like me personally, and like what I've been studying, it's kind of the future of marketing. Social media is becoming more and more of a used thing every day. But winning game 1, we're just flying through these playoffs, my man. It's easy going, smooth sailing so far. Also no overtime games, which I'm kind of thankful for because it is kind of late. I'm trying to get through this a little quickly just because, like, I want to get through another season. I don't want to, like, stop at the playoffs and, do that, but I also want to make sure everybody, sees what's going on. Canes win game 3 in Philly. Take a 2-1 series lead here. My dream for a while was scouting, and like I would love to be a scout for a team, but I need to be able to afford access to like streams of games, and I'm not in the position to do that yet, because I mean, it's expensive to watch. Like, even if I bought a subscription to watch to Hockey TV, oh, I didn't mean to hit that. To watch like USHL games, like BCHL, AJHL, on those leagues, like it's like a couple $100, and I can't afford that right now. So, like, if I'm in the position to do that, maybe I'll pick it back up, but it's not something I'm able to do right now. Well, Canes lose that game, so that was game 5, and I believe the series is now 3-2, but I don't want to... Yeah, it's 3-2 Canes. If you guys haven't checked out, I retweeted on the Prospects account the other day a podcast that interviewed the Canes director of head of North American scouting, Mike Dawson. He offers some really good insight on like Canes prospects and like their you know, like what they can bring to the team, like their seasons and all that stuff. It's really interesting. Conference finals, dude, I would love to be a commentator as well. Really, like anything involving hockey, but that's a good goal. Broadcasting is a lot of work, but it's incredibly rewarding too. And like, you know, Trip Tracy, like for as much crap as people give him, there's not a single person better at explaining the game and breaking the game of hockey down to a casual market. Not one. So I'm very thankful for Trip, and plus those little like, I mean, he just does so many fun things that make, you know, like, Trip, like, look at you. I legitimately love Trip Tracy. I'm unashamed to admit it. I have I haven't talked to Michael Smith all that much. I talked to him like 4 years ago when I was applying for school, or 5 years ago when I was applying for school. I am good friends with Dan, who is now the head of marketing or something. I forget his like official role. Alright, we're going to overtime, folks. And actually, I was reading an email from him when I took a pause a second ago, or like a couple minutes ago. So he used to run all the Canes social media accounts, and then he got a nice promotion. But he and I talk quite often. And yeah, Panda, you're exactly right. Trip is never afraid to be honest about the team. Like, if it's a bad penalty, he'll let you know. If it's a bad goal against, he'll let you know. So, like, I really appreciate that about him. Seriously, though, I mean, there's a reason why everybody... We hit that partner ourselves. I hated it. There's a reason why our broadcast crew is the most beloved broadcast in the league. I'd love to run the Canes social media account now that the fan base is not like at each other's throats. Like when we were not doing well, it was painful going on social media, man, and like even at times last season, like especially in December, I remember how bad it was getting, because you know, it was starting to look like same old, same old. But what's hilarious about it is that, like, I found a post of mine that I made on my Instagram a while back, and I've gone through and deleted it. I just thought it was funny. It was in December. Svech wins it. Canes avoid the sweep. I was talking about how... what was it? Oh, I want the Canes to be my pallbearers so they can let me down. Because they were doing so bad. I know Kane's Facebook is worse. I don't use Facebook as much. I have it to keep up with PNC. But yeah, I will avoid Facebook like the plague. Our season is over. Canes lose. Kane's Twitter is a very nice place now. Earlier this season it was a silly place. But I unfollowed quite a few people that were toxic, and that really helped me out. But again, I'm not going to name names. Buffalo won the 3rd overall pick. Look at that. And Calgary won the so you'll probably be getting a high top 6 center or a medium elite right winger. End of the first round's not looking very good. But we'll check the retired players, I'll check the awards, and that's gonna be it. Aho didn't retire again. Wow. He's still kicking it. Alright. I'm okay with that. But I'm looking for former Canes, just kind of passively. Atu Lusterinen, briefly a member of the Carolina Hurricanes. Thatcher Demko is the only big goalie retiring this year. And I finally don't need to hire a coach. I can't imagine what that would have been like. I joined Kane's Twitter in 2016, I want to say. And Kane's Twitter in 2016 was a strange place. So it doesn't look like any created players won any awards this year. I guess everybody's kind of starting to decline. Yeah, Kane's Twitter in like 2016, 2017. Really until the playoffs was a crazy place. But it is 2 in the morning. We are at the draft. I am going to call it a night. We'll try and do this tomorrow night. Hopefully both of you guys will be here. It'll be fun, man. It'll be something. Come prepared with questions and your usual sunny dispositions, and we'll have some more fun, alright? But for now, take care, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night.